Match day 18 was fully packed with lots of action, lots of drama, lots of surprising results, and lots of implications on the table, rather at the top of the table or at the bottom end of the table. There were lots of implications, but starting with the top of the table, Victor, Aston Villa continued to show that they are the real deal, and this time they came from behind to beat Chelsea. I remember saying in one of our videos a couple weeks ago that, oh, I don't see them as actual title contenders. But after recent results this season, they've beaten City, they've beaten Arsenal, now they've beaten Chelsea. Have they actually shown that they are genuine title contenders?
For sure. I mean, I'm still basking in my own glory for tipping them for a title challenge before the season started, but yes, they look like proper challengers. Not much more convincing in their performances than Arsenal, who to me are very shaky. So I see absolutely no reason why we should count Villa out. They're right there, might be level on points with Arsenal before next weekend. Lovely stuff.
Hmm, fair enough. Moving on and over to you, Max. Manchester City just about managed to beat Nottingham Forest 2-1, and that means themselves and Aston Villa are two of the only sides with five consecutive league wins at the moment. Now, the question is, can any side stop City at the moment?
Yes, probably only Villa, looking at the current form, especially when you look at Arsenal, that is not really convincing. So I'd probably say that Man City and Villa are currently the best teams in the league, and we're gonna see it in coming weeks. At least next week, we're gonna see Arsenal and Villa, and probably Villa gonna overcome. So let's see.
Okay, we'll see about that. And over to you, Victor. Arsenal just about managed to beat Brighton via yet another own goal. And that own goal meant that Arsenal's highest goal scorer in December was actually own goal. And many continue to criticize Arsenal's results of late, despite the fact that they've been winning. What are your thoughts on this, Victor?
If you look at it pragmatically, of course, as long as you get the 3 points, right? But I remember we were talking off the air, and I said for Arsenal and for Arsenal fans, I think standards are a little bit like whatever gets the job done. Um, and if you feel like that's the way to go, sure, all more power to you. Personally, when Liverpool started the season and they had those 5 wins in a row, I hold them to a higher standard because they are a proven entity. They've won the league twice in the last few years, Champions League, like more trophies than Arsenal, let's put it that way. And the fact that they played so poorly, I was absolutely on board with that criticism, even if they were getting the wins. So I can understand people criticizing Arsenal right now for this, but at the same time, it's also a case of whatever gets you over the line. Once you start getting into the habit of winning some trophies, then you can demand more in terms of style as well.
Yeah, probably exactly the point. Everybody would only remember who won the trophy at the end and not how you won your games. So, but anyways, moving on and back to you, Max. Despite all of Liverpool's poor form in recent weeks, where they failed to win in about six games at the time, the Reds are now back in the top four of the Premier League as at the time of recording this video. What does that actually say about the Premier League, Max? Hmm.
That start that probably Slot was right by benching Salah, because we also that stats that they're in top three after benching Salah. Only Man City, I guess, and Villa got more points than them. And also, I'd probably say that it shows that their squad is still so strong, and even when they play not their best game, they still can manage to win and score crucial goals. So if they can keep the momentum, they can probably fight for top three if we let below somehow. But at the time, yeah, I feel like they're the main contenders for the top four spot.
Hmm, interesting. And moving on, Victor, Brentford recorded a 4-1 victory against Bournemouth, and that result meant that Bournemouth are now without a win in their last five league games. I remember like 4 to 5 games in, we're talking about the top four challenge for Bournemouth, and now they've fallen off badly. What does this result mean for Bournemouth, and what do you think has probably gone wrong for them in recent weeks?
Yeah, it's disheartening, because everybody was expecting them to kind of kick on from there.
Yeah.
Uh, but it kind of goes to show that they had a bit of a lying start to the season because they weren't supposed to be that good. Selling three of your four defenders, selling the goalie, and performing the way they did, they had no right to do that, basically. But yeah, now they're kind of finding their range a bit more, I suppose, unfortunately for them. It's a bit disheartening, that's true. But at the same time, I don't think they're in trouble, like proper trouble. If you look at the table, they are 9 points above the line. But it's again just like it is the case for Forest and for Leeds, they're not really in trouble because the bottom three are just absolutely crap.
Yeah, fair enough. And just on a final note, Max, Manchester United still on course for a top four finish, or maybe, who knows, a title challenge after their latest win against Newcastle.
I'd say it's gonna be
Premier League Summer Series.
yeah, at least we won the trophy this season. But seriously talking, let's say the coming month would be decisive for the club, especially because we have Bemo, Masraoui, Diallo on AFCON, Bruno injured. And I'd say, yeah, it's quite lucky that we have quite easier schedule for the upcoming 3 games. And most likely we're going to win even without these 4 guys. But looking then, it's Man City and Arsenal. And if they can come back to the squad and do great results in these two, yeah, probably we're going to be somewhere around top 4, top 5, and most likely qualifying for the UCL. So now Man United standards are quite low, so making UCL is already a good deal.
Wow. Standards are in the bin. But yeah, I mean, United fans will be glad to stop playing Monday night football if they can at least return to return to Europe. So I'm sure they will take that anyways. But yeah, those are some of the best talking points from match day 18. We are now looking ahead to match day 19, where it promises to be action packed once again. And we always know that last games of the calendar year always give us like some pleasant surprises, and I'm sure we'll get many of that in the coming game week. Stay tuned so you don't miss out on our prediction and analysis.